Okay, next is to go through the Java Servlets chapter, and we'll start with the project creation. And what we're going to do here is going to create an Eclipse project called a website, and we're going to have a very simple website application. Alright, so let's go ahead and follow these instructions. We need to start up Eclipse, and then we want to make sure we're in the Java perspective. Let's go ahead and start Eclipse. I'm in the Java perspective, it's right there. Let's create a new project. The project name will be website. Let's see what else it suggests here. Click the next button, set the project name to website. Under project layout, make sure that we select a box to create separate source and output folders. Click next, go to source, and set this. The default output folder needs to be set to this. Let's go ahead and do that. So website, create separate folders for sources and class files. This is now the default. The old setting used to be there, but we're going to leave it here now. It's a good default. Let's go ahead and click next. Now here we select that source folder, and this is the default output folder should be set as follows. It should be set to website, web.inf classes, and I think we are going to need to set the libraries as well. So select the libraries tab. That's what we just did. We want to add an external jar, and we'll navigate to the Tomcat Home Live folder and select the Servlet API jar. And looks like we're asking to do this one as well. I think that's optional at this point, but will be used later on. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Here we go. Under libraries, this is the core library that's comes with Java. But what we need to do is add another library, jar file. So we're going to click on Add External Jar File. And you should navigate to where Apache Tomcat is installed, and go into the lib folder and select a Servlet API.jar. This needs to be set as a library, and I'll hit finish. There's our, if we can expand that, we'll see we have a source file, a source folder rather. We have the JRE system libraries, and under reference libraries you'll see we have the Servlet API.jar file. That's good. This is our web folder, web.inf. This will be, when we build code, it will be placed in a folder under this web.inf folder. Alright, let's go forward. So far we've got that. Okay, now let's attach the source code to a jar file. Actually, let's see what we need to do here. We need to tell Eclipse where the source code is for the library that we just attached. Now this procedure that I have here is maybe a little old. Let's see if it still works. And here's the reference libraries. I'm going to right click on there, because actually this jar file I believe contains its own source code at this point. Let's go ahead and take a look at I think it's properties. and the Java source attachment, and that's where we need to go. So this will be an external file, and we will navigate up here to a place where the source code would be, and I don't see that here. Let's see here, because we did select the download where this was supposed to be downloaded with everything. So is it under bin? I don't see that either. So perhaps we still need to download that. Let's go back to the Apache website and check on that one. So let's go ahead and go back. So this is going to take a little longer. Let's take a look at this. So when we do the downloads, here it is, the binary distributions. And apparently, here's the source code distribution. So we need to download this. Let's go ahead and do that. Seems to be broken. Let's try it again. Nothing is there. Let's try. Maybe what we need to do is set the I'll try a different mirror here. Alright, let's go down there and try it again. There we go. It was a matter of the wrong mirror. Okay. So we got that coming. That looks good. That's finished. Now we'll leave this as a zip file. We don't need to expand that. But what I want to do is I'm going to move that to another location. And you know, where you put it is arbitrary. It depends on how you want to organize your system. And I'm going to put it under Apache Tomcat. I'm just going to drop it right in there. There it is. That's the source code. Alright. So, well, once again, I'm going to repeat those steps again. This is, you know, in this website application that we just created, we have reference libraries. I'm going to right click on there, go to properties, and under Java source attachment we're going to click on external file and navigate to this zip file that we just downloaded, and apply. Maybe that's not necessary, but that's there. So that is done. Let's go back and continue on with the instructions. We don't need this. Whoops, I changed my page. Java Servlets, and here it is. Sorry about that. I thought this was unnecessary, so I took that out, but I put it back in again. So we have to go to the Apache Tomcat website and download that zip file and follow that procedure, which is shown in these snapshots here. Okay, deployment descriptor. Now we're going to need to create something called a deployment descriptor. Here are the instructions. We're going to create a file called web.xml in the web.inf folder, and it's going to contain this information. Let's go ahead and do that. So under here, I'm going to create a new file, web.xml, finish. There it is. Now see, it shows this. This is an XML editor. I don't like to use that, although I believe you can use that. I like to open that with the text editor. It's easier for me. And let's go ahead and drop this in there. to turn that off. And so there it is. You know, this is the root element web app. There's a servlet element here called home, and it's an instance of it'll represent an instance of this class home servlet. And this servlet mapping element tells Tomcat how to provide access to the servlet. Basically, the user comes in through this this pattern that's entered in through the URL. It's at the end of the URL. Let's take a look at what we need to do there. So there's explanation there. You need to read that. And finally, we come down here, create the home servlet. And let's go ahead and do that. Here are the instructions. Be in the Java perspective, expand the website project, create a new class, set the package to this. So we're going to create a class. I see the asterisk here. That means this is not saved. I'm going to save that. Let's close this. So here I will do a new class. And the package, I'm going to go back up to here. I'm going to paste in website.web as the package. And for the servlet name, we'll use home servlet. And this is not the correct superclass. The superclass is this. And I'm going to show you we could just paste that whole string in there. This is the fully qualified class name. This is the class name itself. This is the package that the class falls under. Let's just illustrate how this works. We can just use the class name by itself. If we hit Control Spacebar, it'll show us some choices. It doesn't know exactly what we want, but this is the one we want, in fact, so we can select that one. And the rest of this looks good. You know, my monitor, and not everything is being shown here. Next to the resolution I set my monitor at. Let's see, generate content. But I think there's nothing else that we need, so I'm going to hit finish on that. There's our home servlet. Gives us some starter code to work with. Looks good. And yeah, we're going to turn off a warning. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So you can see this warning right there. I hover over it. The serializable class home servlet does not declare static final version of the book, and I won't change it at this point, but there's different ways that we could handle that, and one way is just to turn off the warning. The other way is to put that in there. Let's see, Control 1, it breaks me. There's no suggestion on that. Let's see if I do this. Quick fix. We can add this. This is one way to get rid of the warning. Because it's a serializable class, it needs the Eclipse is suggesting that this declaration be included in the class, but it's not meaningful in our context. So what we're going to do, instead of putting that in there, we're going to turn off the warning. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's see, I believe that's in Preferences, and it would be under Java. And here we have Compiler, Errors and Warnings. It's not code style, it's potential programming problems. And it's this one right here. When there is a serializable class without serial version UID, instead of generating a warning, let's ignore that potential problem. Hit OK on that. And now the warning is gone. And that is the only warning in this class that we will be turning off. Another thing is, this This style, I like to use this type of style. This is completely optional on your side, of course, but to get that, what I'm going to do is go into Preferences, and under Java Code Style, I'm going to select this formatter, and I'm going to call this Turner. And I'm going to define my own code style here. So for braces, I like my braces going on the next line. So I just basically set that all the way down. Once again, this is optional. You don't need to do this. But it's the way I like to write my code. Of course, if you're working on a team, you should stick with whatever convention your team is using. So there we go. Now this will be automatic next time we create that. Alright, let's go back to the web page. Turned off that warning. We want to override the do get. And let's go ahead and select source, override, implement methods. Let's go ahead and do that. So we go to source, override, implement methods. We're going to implement do get. Just drop that right in there. It's going to maximize that. This is an annotation that says that we are overriding an inherited method. We'll leave that in there. That's helpful. And there it is. That looks good. We're going to add one line to it. So we don't need to call the super. It's actually, I think it throws an exception. I don't remember exactly. We're dropping this code in here. We're gonna display hello world. The issue here is that this print writer is undefined, and so when we hover over that, we get some suggested quick fixes. In fact, what we'll do is we'll select one of these, and we will, in fact, we want to import this. I don't see it there. It is. Import print writer. Go ahead and do that. That added this this import statement right there. This is the name of the package where that class print writer is defined. So now, as you can see, we don't have any errors now. We're going to save the file. That looks good. I'm going to keep going here. This is all explained in the book. And continuing on. This is what your file should look like. That's what we currently have. So lots of explanation there of what's going on. And now we need to deploy. We have actually a hello program, a hello web application created. Now the problem we're faced with is how to deploy it. And here is the instructions on that. Okay, let's follow these instructions. Basically, we're going to create a new file at the top level of your website project. It's been some time since I worked through this code, so I'm going to go up here. We're going to create a new file, and the file name will be website.xml. Once again, I don't like this this editor. I'm going to close the home servlet. I'm going to open this with the text editor. And here's the text for that. Basically, we're going to install this web application to this URL, or this resource within the URL. and the doc base is set to $workspace, this stuff right here. So let's see, I cannot remember actually what this means. This is the document base. I think we had to put in our path to the workspace, right? That is not defined. Configuration. What does it say here? Workspace is the path to your Eclipse workspace. So we're going to need that, and this is it. This is the path to, oh, not the workspace. Where's the path to the workspace? I put that, let's see, the path to the workspace. It was in, I accepted the default. I think it was under documents. Nope. It must be under workspace. There it is, right there. Sorry. This is the Eclipse workspace. This is a .metadata folder that Eclipse uses that to store information about the contents of the workspace. I'm going to copy that path and in fact replace this string with that path. I'm just going to expand that so we see the whole thing. So this folder should exist. Let's just verify. Let's verify that that folder is a good folder name. It's always good to verify those things. I'm going to leave that folder alone. Let's go back to this workspace. I'm just going to paste that on top of there. If I hit enter, we get to a valid workspace. We get to a valid, folder location in the file system. So we know we're good on that. I'm going to save that. Come back to the instructions. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to deploy that. So we'll go to the manager application. And this is bad because Tomcat is not running. So we actually need to start up Tomcat. Once again, we go to the bin folder here. One of the things that we do is we could clear the log files. Notice that there are no log files open here, so it's pretty straightforward to clean those. Let's go ahead and delete that log folder. Just so we get empty log files, it's good to clean those out from time to time. Startup.bat, get that going, and come back to here. Go ahead and add some of these log files back in there. Wonder if I can highlight the whole thing. Does that work? No, it doesn't let me do that. And we're going to need to, that's enough, just that Catalina, that's good enough. So we have one log file open, everything looks normal. I'm going to clear, not going to close it, I'm going to clear it. And now we go back to the manager application. I'll just hit reload, there it is. And we see we've got, these are our applications. So we're going to deploy a new one. Here's the context path. It's going to be a website. And we are going to use an XML configuration file. So we need the URL to that. Or it doesn't allow us to browse to it, unfortunately. So what we'll do is locate it this other way. It's right in there. And it's in this part of the workspace. I'm going to go up to this level. Sorry, it must be in here. This is the file right there, website.xml. So this is the path to it. And I'm going to paste that in there. And I'm going to add in a /website.xml. Let's go ahead and try to deploy that. And look at this. OK. deployed application at such and such a context. So it's good, and now you'll see it in the list here. In fact, we can sort of link over to it. It says the website is not available, but that's because we don't have any way. We haven't told Tomcat how to handle a request for this root resource. So we're just going to type in home here. This is how we configure the home servlet. There it is. There's our hello world. Remember the way we configured the system. We're mapping /home to the home servlet. The home servlet runs and prints that. We did that mapping in this deployment descriptor right here. This is the URL mapping right there. So you can read about that and think about that. Let's see what else we need to do, if anything. So we got our hello program running, and that's the end of this chapter.